Because we didn't have enough panelists today, we brought in a couple more. And we're talking about Costco versus Walmart here. And because we always hear from big companies like Walmart, like, well, there's nothing we can do, man. We have to pay our employees dirt cheap, wages. Nothing we can do. Until you find out about Costco, and it turns out there's a lot they can do. And so Anna has that story.
Yes. Well, first let me start off by saying that Obama spoke in front of the Rodon Group manufacturing facility today, and he equated not raising taxes on the wealthy and keeping taxes high for the middle class, basically giving the middle class a lump of coal on Christmas. He's saying that it's a Scrooge Christmas. But also in the meantime, Biden went to Costco, and he had a little bit of a shopping spree. Let's take a look.
Costco has hired 260 employees in this new store, part of a sort of a renaissance of a whole neighborhood out here. Consumer confidence is growing, and the last thing we need to do is dash that now by being unable to extend the middle-class tax cut.
Joe Biden was in Costco. He wanted to buy some of this stuff. But I told him he had too much work to do. I wasn't going to have him building roller coasters all day long.
And then I handed him a pen. You know I got pens.
My favorite reality show on television is Joe Biden at Costco. I go watch it. There wasn't one sample that he didn't take.
He's worse than my kid at Costco.
It's like the old Clinton videos, yeah.
So it's interesting that's the first Costco that opened up in D.C. And of course there's a lot of people excited about it, and everyone wants to go to check it out. But when you really look at the way Costco treats its workers, that's where the real story is, right? And especially when you compare Costco to Walmart. So first, let me tell you that warehouse workers in Southern California have petitioned to include Walmart as a defendant in this lawsuit about wages. And let's look at the wages a little bit. When it comes to the average Costco worker, they make about $17 an hour. The average wage for a Walmart worker is only $8.81 an hour.
Yeah, that would be an enormous difference. And by the way, Costco is not out of business. They're perfectly healthy. They're profitable. And in fact, per employee, gives you a sense of size, right, more than anything else. Per employee, they make significantly more profit than Walmart does. Now, there's slightly different businesses. There's a lot of different reasons for that. But it just goes to the point that, hey, if you pay your employees well, you don't go out of business.
It makes me happy I'm a Costco girl, although I call it the $300 spinach salad because they have the spinach salad that I love. You guys have never had that?
No.
The dressing it's just, you might as well just drink sugar. But I go in there to get that, and then I get $300 worth of other stuff I didn't need, like toilet paper for life. But I love Costco.
Yeah, Costco's great.
We know where to go if we need toilet paper.
Yeah, my house.
And by the way, let me give you one number about that. So Walmart, of course, is enormously profitable too, but they're much larger, so they make over $15 billion in profit every year, right? But Costco, which is much smaller, makes $1.7 billion in profit. I mean, so it's not like there's only one way to do business. It's like what we were talking about with the budget. The Republicans always say there's only one way. You got to cut Social Security, you got to cut Medicare, et cetera. And it turns out, no, you can pay your employees really well and still make a really healthy profit.
You know, the co-founder of Costco did this great interview with the New York Times, and the one thing that he really noticed with his employees is, look, a lot of them love the company. They love the way we treat them. They have health benefits. They have fair wages. They love working for us. And as a result, they're better at their jobs. They have respect and loyalty for the company. And that's something that obviously you're not seeing right now with Walmart, because people are they're done with it. They're tired of it. They can't live off the wages that they have. And when you look at productivity in the country, productivity is steadily climbing up, and it's been doing so since 1947, but wages flatlined for the last 30 years.
Yeah, that's my favorite chart in the world, because you can see you're not getting the benefit of your productivity. It is going to someone else. And where it's going, of course, as we've shown over and over again on the show, is the corporate CEOs. They're taking a lot of the money out of the system. And by the way, the reason I gave you the Walmart number, over $15 billion in profit, because if you paid your employees a little bit more, you could still have, what, $14 billion in profit, $13 billion in profit?
That chart was exactly the same on cotton plantations in the 1800s during slavery. I'm not kidding. Like, I bet you saw, no wages, obviously, and you saw productivity high. It's the same type of arrangement.
It's a strong statement, but look, there is something wrong with the system when people are working hard and they're getting a great result in terms of productivity, and they're not getting to share in it. It's going to, all the spoils are going to someone else.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Walmart pushback on labor. We know that when there are opportunities and even the primordial ooze of union and some kind of coalescing of that part-time workforce to try to speak up to Walmart management. Oftentimes, that can be. It's been very controversial and documented through the last few years. So it can be a real problem. So my point is, Walmart finds itself in the crosshairs on a few of these labor issues related to part-time employees and the like.
So the Walmart greeter is faking it. They're not that happy to be there.
No, exactly. No, that's what I've always thought when I've walked in. I'm like, well, I wonder how happy this person really is. And it's ironic that a lot of times people in these situations with these kind of businesses will say, even during campaigns, you never run a business. What do you know about business? But in reality, it's as Anna mentioned earlier, when you actually treat your employees right, they actually want to work better for you. You'll get a happier environment, and you'll probably do better overall anyway. That's running a business the right way.
Now, we're out of time, but it's funny because when we gave you guys a story yesterday about the fast food guys going on strike in New York, not one of their main grievances, but a side grievance that one of the guys said was, "I'm so tired of doing that fake smile." It's like, I mean, they don't pay me any wages. I barely got any money, and then then they come around and check on your smile every once in a while. Like, are you smiling enough? And you're gonna be like. So it's a bad situation, but it can get better if we do the right things. All right, now when we come back, we're going to talk about how our system continues to do the wrong things. Why? Because when politicians retire, they get a boatload of money. It's a great story.
What do you plan to do after you retire?
Have a better job than you guys have, that's for sure.